Works okay. There we go. I'm just going to double check real quick if we can hear you.
Airborne has a daily
And I'll give a second for more people to jump in. But hello. I'm back again. Once more. Let's see. Is it going to work?
Let's see.
Oh, yep. Okay. Alrighty. I'll let a few more people jump in and then we'll get right to it. But this is just wild to me. The more and more that comes out about this, I knew that it was already, something very serious and something very sinister. But my goodness, the more I look into this whole AstroWorld and Travis Scott thing, it's got me mind blown. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like. It really does help me out. And I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me for a bit. It really does mean a lot. I hope you're doing well. So we'll just start. What's up, turds and nerds, freaks and geeks, and all that's in between? It's me, your girl, Daisy Dame, and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday, we discussed the whole AstroWorld and Travis Scott and how I was just upset over it. It had really just, the whole thing just doesn't seem right. So I wanted to look into a few more things that I either missed, we hadn't talked about, or just more information that I had found out about this whole thing. So if you're interested in that, don't be afraid to hit the like and hang out for a while, and I would really appreciate it. I do think that an EMF protector gear could have protected more people at the concert. We'll get into that and so much more, but just genuinely, guys, when you hit the like, it helps bring more people in and it helps send out more notifications. And I try not to ask for too much, but I would really, really appreciate it if you help me with that. So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about, things that I missed, things that we didn't discuss yesterday, more things that I found, and the body language of this apology. I'm not an expert, but I truly have watched enough body lingo videos, I promise you that, to know a thing or two. So we're going to do a body language breakdown. Hi, thank you guys so much for joining me. You're the best. Of his apology and what I thought about that. It's madness to me. So it starts with him, and I'm going to kind of emulate what he was doing, right? He was messing with his hair. He was massaging his head, and he was trying to essentially force some tears out, but there was no tears. He had no tears to shed for nobody. Thank you for joining me. Hit that like. But it's like, what? Dude, my dude, what? First of all, he should be upset. So he put out a very short video for fans, basically saying, my bad, literally, and that people are looking into it, and I'm so sorry, essentially, and we'll help in the way that we can. This is not his first rodeo, okay? This is not his first experience with things going wrong. This is not his first rager, right? Because that's what they do. They like to rage, and it's like, you can rage without hurting people. You can have a good time without hurting people. So essentially what he's doing is a short video by Travis claims that he wants to send prayers to the family, as well as he's rubbing his head and he's talking about it. For those of you who have watched body language videos, you'll know that this is a self-soothing gesture. My guy is over here self-soothing himself. Still thinking about himself throughout this whole thing. The nerve. My frustration is real. So it's a self-soothing gesture. That's what that is. And he takes a long sigh, which of course he's under distress, or should be. So he's going to emulate that, right? Of looking in distress before he moves forward with talking about prayers for the family. And I'm not going to lie, to me, as someone who is going in this, not a fan of this Travis Scott, my dude, again, to each their own. If you enjoy his music, that's fine, but I just never really had heard it before. I didn't really even know who this dude was until all of this happened. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. A lot of people are feeling that same way. They're not exactly sure who this guy was until this happened. Don't forget to hit the like if you're jumping in. Thank you so much. It really means a lot, and it helps send more notifications out. So thank you guys. I did miss a couple things in my past stream though, but again, as I stated, it was kind of just quickly. I really wanted to talk about it because it was really weighing on my heart, And I know that if we can help others, that's the most important thing we should be doing. And I don't know why nobody else is talking about it. And I don't know why more people aren't calling it what it was. And that's a ritual. I said it straight out. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. It's exactly what it looked like in all of my research, in all of my hours. I promise you, this is what it looked like to me. And we're going to get into the theories of why that is, like what type. I've got your back. I'm not like these other channels. I'm going to look into every little bit I can, and we're going to figure out every little thing, so don't worry. I got you. I've been over all the footage for this, all the people who have attended, so on and so forth. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And do you know what this does? Not only, thank you, not only does this pain, like when people are reminded or they hear about these things, it reminds them of their own pain and their own tragedies in their life. So it brings up more pain, right? It has this ripple effect. That was an important point that I wanted to make for sure in this stream. The ripple effect of this is still unknown. Still unknown. But we can see that it's already spreading far and wide. Okay? And this man, there is videos of him looking at the people being pulled out of the crowd and singing and not doing anything about it. Why didn't you do anything about it? And now all these clips of bands doing the right thing are going viral because they stopped the show to help their fans, because that's who pays for your bread, my guy. Anywho, okay, so let's get into some of these things. I did miss the part where before the show started, there was a 30-minute countdown, okay? I did not talk about this in the last stream. There was a 30-minute countdown, and people said as this was happening, there was really demonic music playing. And the fact is, you guys, here comes another brain buster, and you guys know I love brain busters. Ready? What do the police use for crowd control? Frequencies, right? So would it not be too far-fetched to say that this man was playing frequencies that incited stress, anxiety, fear, panic? Because all these people in the crowd who did not know each other are saying how it felt so evil. It felt so satanic. The energy just shifted. And the whole stage itself, ooh, we'll get into that too, looked like a portal to hell. Like, am I the only one? Am I the only one? I can't be. Okay, so yeah, police use frequencies for crowd control. So is it really so far-fetched that he might have been doing that with the music that they played beforehand? Totally a possibility, allegedly. Who knows? We're just speculating. I wasn't there, so all I can do is my best to go through all the footage. All the footage. There's so much footage, you guys. And of course, the media is going to play it down. Of course, the media, like when it happens with earthquakes, they're going to tell you it's just a little less, right? Or incidents like this, it's just a little less. Like, oh, it's only 8 people. Like those 8 people didn't have loved ones, families. They're not someone's daughter, mother, kid, whatever. Oof, it's not good. It's not good, okay? Also, one thing that I didn't point out was that it was Kris Jenner's 66th birthday right before this. And this happened to be the 3rd AstroWorld. Oh, Cal, that's okay. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. I'm so grateful. You guys. Yeah, exactly. So was this a gift for Kris Jenner? Was this some sort of gift for her? And here's another thing that I didn't bring up in my last stream, which this I didn't even think about, you guys, but I saw these things playing out. And of course, because we're so desensitized, I'm just a bystander, right? I don't act because I didn't know to act, right? But weeks before this happened, or a month or so ago, a few months ago, who was in Fortnite putting on a concert but travisscott? Gee, let's think about it. Who else was in Fortnite giving a concert to your children, to the children? That's the important part. Yes, I will be that woman going, the children. That's me. I'll take that role. Let me do it. It's fine. I don't mind, That's what he was doing. And this show had no age limit. Why did it have no age limit? And I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm not telling you how to parent. Take care of your kids. You know your business. That's your business. But be wise about where you're taking your kids. Some of these kids didn't have a choice. They didn't know they were going to that concert that night. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't have an option and their parents are a little too worried about themselves and wanted to go so bad. You know what I mean? Maybe they couldn't get a babysitter. Whatever scenario you can play out in your heads of if, ands, buts, or maybes, right? Like, what if? Don't take your children to these events that you know people are going to be blinked out of their mind in a whole nother world, literally, right? It's just not safe. So be wise, be smart about it. Please, please. Okay. Was it? Yeah. So he was in Fortnite. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And it's important because that caused kids to get more interested in Travis Scott's music, which is all about what? Raging, and they're reckless. And this is not appropriate for kids. And who did the same thing? Who did the same thing? Lil Nas X, right? Because he was befriending your children with the cowboy song, Don't Mind Me. I'm just cute and innocent. You know, all the kids love this. It's a bop. And then he does the switch up, and it's so provocative and so on and so forth. It's too much, obviously, for children. But they're like, hey, you're the weirdo, okay? If you think that your kid can't watch some Lil Nas X, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Oh, God forbid we have standards or morals anymore. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Sorry, my bad. I thought that my kid might, need a little more time before he saw some very explicit material. I thought that's what we should have been worried about, So, yeah, we talked about Ariana Grande yesterday, too. Why? Because she herself went through a concert with an incident, and oh my goodness, didn't she blow up? Oh my goodness, didn't she? And that's so funny. And she also ends up in Fortnite singing to the kids. That happened in 2017 for those of you who didn't hear about that, didn't know about that. But it really blows my mind, okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. You guys are the best. Okay, so let's go into... There's more. I got more. I got more. Because I went hard into this, you guys. I just was so upset, and I couldn't fathom it. And my heart really does go out to these families because these people just wanted to have a night away. They just wanted to have a good night out. Like, they just wanted to have a break. And it's not worth their life. It's not. It's just not. I'll tell you that. So what a big question that a lot of people have is, what could they have done better? Well, there's a lot of things. Actually, that's pretty simple. The way that they set up the concert itself was like cattle between these dividers, okay? And so once you got in, there was no coming back out because the crowd was so full that everybody in the back is pushing to get to the front. There's no exits, okay? There's two barriers, the stage, and it's huge, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So, of course, the front doesn't know what's going on in the front. The front doesn't know what's going on in the back, so on and so forth, right? There's no communication because there's so many people. So it's madness to me. There's so much that they could have done better. I love you guys too. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, there's so much they could have done better. They could have had more security. They could have had more EMTs. They could have had more staff. They could have had staff that wasn't children. I get it. Listen, concerts, they got to hire, people who are willing to work right now, and people who are willing to work right now are young 20-somethings, right? Good for them. Like, they're willing to do the job. So that's great, I suppose. But we should have had some adults there. Okay. Adulting. That's all. Maybe a couple, for God's sakes. This is not even how crazy it gets. So hit the like, because you guys, you are not going to believe where this goes. We thought it was bad yesterday. It's so much worse. It's so much worse than I even imagined. So much worse. So I've watched attendees, along with kids on the news, so on and so forth. I saw a 5-year-old sitting on a man's shoulders just because literally no one could breathe. Everybody was chest to chest. If you put your arms up, you could not put them back down. You could not put them back down. That's how crowded it was. Okay. And people said that they were literally getting lifted off the floor by other people's bodies. Imagine just standing there and having your whole body just lifted off the floor, and you're like, whoa, and you just have no control. They said there was literally waves of people. Right? So leave it to mainstream media, like I stated, to make this less, make it seem like a lot less. Because of course they would. Of course they would. They're like, whoa, wasn't as bad as you think. You can still go to big mass gathering. You know you want to. Go see that next big artist. Don't. Let me tell you right now, don't do it. Don't do it. Just be safe. Please, please. Be safe. Okay? Again, let me repeat that a few main points that I made in the last stream, okay? I'm going to say it out again. Yes, ritual. Other people won't say it. I don't know why. Call it for what it is. It's okay. We're all friends here. That's what it looked like to me. And all my research into these things, you guys know I try so hard to stay grounded and be practical and reasonable and debunk these things. I will go to the end of the earth to try and debunk these things before I say, hey, what do you guys think about this? Isn't this weird? But some of this I could just not. I just couldn't do it. There was no debunking the madness that happened. There's just not. Yep. There's kids involved. Yep. Okay, so the whole thing was set up to be scary. Okay, that's another thing. Tacky as can be. And again, if you're prepped for this, if you know you're going to a haunted house, you're going to get ready to get scared. You're going to get ready for that atmosphere. But people were not ready for this. As soon as they got to the door, right off the rip, right at the gate, things felt shady. It was set up to incite fear, panic, scared, anxiety, things like that, right? And then what did they do? They put on that timer, and the weird frequencies that all these attendees complained about. We know, again, let me repeat, that frequencies can be used for crowd control. Were they essentially just possibly putting this crowd in a trance? Because they were all just swinging and waving. Attendees said that people's eyes were just rolling in the back of their head. Were they just having a good time? Were they not breathing? We don't know. But it happened. And it makes me so upset that they try and make this seem so little. So in the beginning, there was a phoenix rising from the ashes. We know what this symbolizes. It symbolizes something, a catastrophe, and then arriving from that catastrophe, bigger, stronger, wiser, more clever, right? So did they possibly know something was going to happen? Did they possibly know that they were creating the environment for chaos? Because again, Travis Scott is no stranger to this. That's what his fans do. They rage. In 2017, in one of the past concerts, one of the fans was thrown from a third story, pushed because the crowd was too hyped, because they were raging too hard. Do you know another interesting part about this is that a lot of the crowd goers, many of them, they didn't believe in the Lord before. But guess what? They were praying to God that night, didn't they? Didn't they? Funny how you pray when it's convenient. When you're stuck in a position where you have no way out, right? That's when you start praying. Why don't you love God all the time? Because maybe, I don't know, it would have helped out a little bit more. I don't know. Just possibility. That's just me. But it seems a little sus to, only praying when you get in that position. I'm sure everybody was. I'm sure every metalhead in that house, started to believe in the Lord that night. So we know about what the phoenix means, okay? Yeah, please do. You guys hit the like button. It brings in more people. It really means a lot. I really try not to ask for too much, but if I could ask for that, that would be awesome. You guys helped me break records yesterday, and I just can't. I can't thank you enough. There was no age limit to this show, you guys. Why was there no age limit? Why? You want to know why? Just a few months earlier, he was in Fortnite singing to your children. Saying, come hang out with me and rage. Ain't that the life you want to live? Imagine if this was a child's first concert. Imagine. Don't. You know what? Okay, do it a little. Sorry, guys. I know I do that a lot, but what? The actual what? The insanity of this. Times are stressful, right? We get it. The last 2 years have been hard on everybody. So everybody's tense. Everybody's on edge. Let's get back to this apology. Travis says that his fans mean the world to him. We can debunk this quickly and right away, because as soon as he saw He had multiple opportunities, first of all, to stop this concert. He had multiple opportunities to stop the show. The man sat on a high-rise, stood. Let me correct myself. The man stood on a high-rise as the camera pointed towards him and watched as these pits of people kept falling. People didn't realize that there was people under those people. And under those people were more people. Like, and he saw that. And so did Kylie Jenner. And so did her baby, Stormy. Oh, so glad your baby was there, Kylie. Great parenting, my dude. Like, that's something awesome. For a 4 or 5-year-old to see. Oh my gosh. How old is that baby? How old is Stormy? Does anybody know? That poor baby. Sick people. Sick. Oof. Disgusting. Yeah, so the man was on a high rise looking over a crowd. He could see it all, right? And yes, that's another thing I will say. A lot of people who did not think about these things before are thinking about it now. A lot of people who did not even know about demonic feelings, evil spirits, well, they sure felt them that night, didn't they? These are kids, literal kids on TikTok saying something just felt wrong. The energy felt gross. I felt anxious. I felt uncomfortable. I felt sick. Even people who had been to, hi, Stevie, so good to see you. Even people who have been to these shows before were like, it was never like this. It was never like this. So what happened? What changed? Maybe because it was the third one. Maybe because Kris Jenner just had her 66th birthday. I don't know. We know they love numbers. I'm just talking about it. We're just speculating. I'm just telling you what I saw and what I've heard. That's all. So the thing is many artists have and will stop the show. It's what you do. It's what you do. They will stop the show just for a moment to calm down the chaos. Thank you guys with the like. Seriously, you're so amazing. And which is the proper response, the response that you would hope from, right? And listen, I'm not some lame person, right? Okay, I went to shows. I went to plenty of concerts. I've been in mosh pits. I love Irish punk, okay? Do you know what that means? That means elbows to the face. That means I hit somebody in the eye with my mohawk. That means, okay, like I've been in some mosh pits. I've been at some shows. And I'll tell you what. The worst thing I got was like a boo-boo on my face or my arm. I made it out every time. Because the bands actually cared, because they had nothing to prove, because they sat in their excellence and they let it shine without having to do this bull crap to get ahead, to get a like, to get a view, to get some attention. Oh, so gross, so gross, so gross. And if he does get so popping off of this, that makes it even worse, doesn't it? Like, does it not? And people are like, but Daisy, do you think you should be held accountable? Most definitely I do. Yes, I do. This man has been charged twice before with what? Inciting riots. So yes, I do think he should be held accountable. Absolutely. I know, Irish punk. Come on, guys. Flogging Molly and Dropkick Murphy. It's good stuff. Okay, so he claims to have wanted to leave them with a positive experience. That surely didn't happen. And people who were pulling people out of the crowd said that they cannot pull them out unless they were passing out. No. If somebody says I need out, they get out. Listen, I promise you guys, the festivals I went to, like most of you know, I'm not a hypocrite. I would go to a festival once a summer, same place, but these are bands like Rusted Root, you know what I mean? Willie Nelson, just these bands like that. They're not trying to prove anything. They've already done their proving. You know what I mean? They're decent people. Like they seem like decent bands, and there's none of this attached to it. Okay. And at these shows, if you're sitting there and you don't feel good and you're out in space because you ate too much candy, somebody's gonna check on you. Somebody's gonna give you some water, give you a hug, and send you on your way. You know? Oh, we're gonna talk about that. About whether people were infected or, given something, so on and so forth. Don't worry. We're going to get into that too. We still got plenty to get into. My goodness. And again, it's 20-minute mark and we still got so much to go. So, yeah, he he did not. We can say that he did not want to leave these people with a positive experience. He did not care, because the whole entire show was to set up to incite fear, panic, and overall chaos. And let me further that point by directing you to Kylie Jenner's Instagram and her Halloween outfit. Now, we know that Miss Kylie is often a pretty little princess, right? She likes to do her thing, dress up as a Tinkerbell or something positive. Not this time. And you know what? It stayed up on all the platforms, didn't it? Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. How strange is that? That she can just douse herself in this red liquid and it's okay. But we can't get away with saying one word on here. Months before that happened, right? So were they preparing people? Were they giving hints? Were they letting them know something was, something negative was on its way? Like, I'm not sure. I just know that that's what she had posted. I especially want to know from the people who have been there. If you guys were there, if you live in the area, please let me know what you thought about this whole thing. Thank you guys so much for joining me, genuinely. Thanks for liking. It really just warms my heart. So, Travis is no stranger to the chaos. Let's get into that part, because that's important, and you need to understand the backstory before we can just look at this one event and say it's one isolated event. Maybe this doesn't happen. How could he have known? Please, no. Let's not be so foolish. Again, this man was arrested 2 times already. He said he could not have imagined how serious it could be. The problem is you did imagine how serious it could be, and you made it happen. That's the problem. The problem is that you did imagine it, and you brought that imagination into this world, and you tainted it. You tainted that land forever with tragedy. Now when people will think of AstroWorld, they'll think of the pits of people that opened up that looked like they were falling into hell. That's what it looked like. All of a sudden, giant holes would just open up in the crowd of people falling on top of each other, crushing one another. And you know what's weird? What's weird is nowadays people will just walk on by. They're not going to help. Like, a lot of people, they were not willing to help. They just, every man for themselves. Bye, good luck. Maybe they were in a trance. Maybe it was something to do with the frequencies affecting their brains, how they felt, their nervous systems. It's totally possible. And I know for some people that might seem impossible, but again, let me state that they use that for crowd control, frequencies. So why wouldn't it be possible that this dude, Travis Scott, is using frequencies to give everybody belly aches? Because it can make you feel like you're on fire. So if it could do that, just curious, right? It's I don't know. I'm so glad that it's a really unfortunate event, but I am so glad that it has caused everyday people to start questioning what is going on. Like, if normal people and metalheads and alike are all like, whoa, shed a single tear for the camera. Couldn't even. And he ends his wonky YouTuber apology by saying that he loves you. And this obviously is not true. He doesn't. He doesn't love any of those people. He loves their money. He loves what they give him. And that's so sad. So sad that they idolized him so much, that they cared so much about this man that he couldn't even be bothered to protect those who were screaming his name top of his lungs, front, center, all there for you, my guy, as he just stood there and watched. Yeah, oh yeah. And I told you guys yesterday, nobody else is going to say this either. So hit the like button. I promise you that. Hit the like button for this. We all know that they do energy harvesting. There's energy vampires out there. As madness as that sounds too, it happens. It's a real thing. Whether you want to believe in the spiritual side of this world or not, That's fine. You don't have to. You can put your blinders on, but it doesn't mean it's not there. Okay? And I'll tell you what. It's no good. There is definitely a spiritual battle going on. And this man he's going for it. He said, I'm going to get me a couple servants for the afterlife, whatever that looks like. And they will forever love me in my name. How dare you, my guy? How dare you? How dare you? It's so messed up. And I know some people are going to be like, this sounds bonkers. That's so strange, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Nobody else is going to say these things. So anyways, let me tell you what I was going to tell you about the energy. We know about when Marina Abramovich, I brought this up yesterday, puts her hands out to the side, right? She's harvesting energies. We've seen her do it in a room full of people, teaching who how to do it. Jay-Z, none other than my guy, Jay-Z, of course, right? So, of course, travisscott is going to be one of these people. So when you see them in a crowd of people with their hands out like this, palms in the air, going around to these people, sucking up their energy, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. As I stated before, in 2017, a man at Travis Scott's concert was pushed from a third floor. He was forced over the edge due to the severely crowded arena and areas. He knows that people go crazy when he incites it. He encourages this behavior. He was telling people in one of the shows to jump from the second story or you're a little bee. He told somebody that came on stage, if you don't jump back in that crowd, then you're going home and you're going to be a little bee and everybody's going to know that. Like, my guy, who are you, my dude? Who are you? Nobody knew who you were. Who are you? You were Kylie Jenner's boyfriend. Don't be sorry. It's totally okay. I'm just glad you made it. Whoa. Sorry about that. Okay. Don't worry, you guys. There's more. There's plenty more. I've still got like a good amount left. Oh my goodness. Okay, I better get trucking through because we do have a lot. Okay. So yeah, he encourages this behavior. Just know that. I've looked so much into this. There's so much to it. And I just wanted to cover as much as I could because you guys know I'm not going to do this sugarcoating stuff. I'm not going to do it. People need to know. People need to know what's going on. Yeah, I try and help others and like warn others with my small platform. And when you guys like, it just helps send it out to more people. And it really means a lot. So the thing is this chaos, Travis obviously thrives on it. Okay. And as this madness was happening, as this dude is standing on a high rise, watching all this unfold in his concert, singing over people screaming help and screaming for their lives, right? He literally said, hey, look at this dude in a tree on the other side so that people wouldn't look at the chaos happening. This dude really said, look the other way. Everybody look this way with me for just a moment. But he didn't see it, but they didn't know. Really? You didn't know? Really? Really? He literally said, look at this dude in a tree. Again, let me state, he's been arrested 2 times already for inciting a riot. He's not good news. Not good news. Not good news. Okay? He encourages these bad behaviors. Travis Scott is trying to make his name very similar like Lil Nas X, appealing to the children first by giving hit songs that they can put in their favorite video games and wherever else, to get them into it. It makes me question the artist Marshmello as well, because he was also in Fortnite, because we talked about what other artist played a concert in Fortnite. Well, it was Travis Scott before all this happened, Ariana Grande, who also had issues at her concert and then blew up, didn't she? And there's others. We went over other examples of other concerts yesterday, like The Who and other bands who've had very tragic events, Pantera and Dimebag Darrell. I mean, we could go over countless examples of this, shows that these horrible events happened at. I could literally, I could have made a video all just about that, okay? That's madness. Oh, hi, Keygen. You guys say hi to Keygen. Thank you so much for visiting. Oh, it means so much. So I'm going to say it again. This is what it was. It was a ritual. It was an energy harvest. It was absolutely something satanic and sinister, and people knew it. Everyday people knew it. They felt it in their hearts. They felt the Lord calling to them, and thank the Lord that he gave people the insight to leave. I really do thank God that he genuinely guided some of those people out of that crowd that night, and he said, this is not good. He gave them the intuition and the knowledge to get out of there. Thank God. Like, isn't he so great? So in the past, he has told the crowds to literally mess up a 10-year-old child for stealing his shoe. He told the crowd to F him up. A 10-year-old. Again, notice how there's minors, first of all, babies, not just babies, not just, kids in their 20s and 15 to whatever, you know what I mean, 15, 20, no, babies, okay? And if you think this is just the madness, it gets so much worse. And I prepare your tummies, you guys, because you're not even going to believe where this goes. Prepare your tummies for this one, okay? Okay, so tells them to F this child up. And then they take the kid out of the crowd without his parents, without anybody helping this kid. Just gets taken out by security. Where'd the kid go? Did he get put back with his parents? Is he safe? Nobody knows. I don't know. We don't know. How messed up is this? So who is to blame? Again, another question that people want to keep asking. I think Travis, Kylie, and Drake do need to step up. They need to do more. They need to do something because they are billionaires with a B, my guys. Billionaires with a B. That's a B. They got money, honey. They're fine. No hate, but I am female, right? Yes. Born female. Actually, I'm a robot. That's what I tell people. I'm a robot. So let's go on. Yeah, they need to do something. That part just really makes me sick. That part just really upsets me. That these people, they're used to watching people suffer, aren't they? So again, let me just say this. Parents, I have no judgment, okay? No judgment here. I know it can be hard to get a babysitter. I know that, you really want to include your kid in something fun to do, right? But this ain't it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your life, nor is it worth your child's. Okay, here we go. Okay, you guys, we got to prepare. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get a little upset about this one. Oh, apparently, this is just allegedly, you guys, okay? Allegedly. Somebody saw a man with a child on their shoulders. They grabbed the child, threw them into the pit, and left. Just walked away. What is happening? What is happening, people? What is going on? Genuinely. What is wrong with people? What are we, what? With all the cases alone of these missing children recently, it is so heavy on my heart. I still think of Orin and Norris and West, and I wonder where they are. I still think of Summer Wells, and I hope that she's safe. I still think about these poor children all the time. And apparently someone saw that they just tossed this baby in one of these pits and walked away. If that's not something demonic, I don't know what is. If that's not something evil, and I'm so sorry, I told you I'm not going to do it like other channels. I can't just give you the little bits. I'm going to tell you everything that I can find about it. It's madness to me. Madness to me. Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you. It really doesn't matter. No matter what I am. I appreciate you. You guys are so sweet. So, yeah, I really do believe that God ended up helping some people out that night. I really do. And I think that it also helped turn others over to Satan. And I really do. I think that it was energy harvesting. And I think that these people are sick and that they won't stop until they get that bag. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep putting on these rituals and shows because nobody tries to do anything about it. Nobody does anything about it. Everybody says, oh, what a tragedy. Oh, it was so horrible. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. But it keeps happening, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yes. The fact that Ariana Grande had the incident at her concert and then blew up to be the superstar that everybody knows by a ponytail. A ponytail. Most people will ensure the safety of their crowds. Let me repeat that, okay? Most bands, most will ensure that their crowd is safe, that they're having a good time, that all is well, right? He did not care. He had no cares to give. Not one. Not a single. He honestly could have taken, ideas from the rapper Cardi, who stopped his show and told everybody, back up 3 steps. Back up 3 steps, right? Yes, I think the music festival itself was somewhat demonic because, as I stated before, which you might have missed, that the whole thing was set up to incite fear. The whole thing was set up to scare you. And 30 minutes before the show went on, they prayed. I wish they would have prayed. I wish somebody would have prayed. They played this really creepy music that was like very strange frequencies. And again, I'm going to say it for the 4th time. We know. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and your families first, but thank you so, so much, Kel. We know that. Oh, I just lost it. Darn it. That's okay. Thank you, though. Thank you so, so much. It really means a lot. You guys are amazing. It's just, they know better. They know better. Okay? They really do. And they know what it takes to put on these shows. They know how to protect these people. They know how to keep these people safe. I know, that's me. Sweet Daisy with her brain fart. Sweet robot Daisy. Okay, it's gonna get worse. I know, you're thinking, Daisy, if we're talking about, how could it get worse from here? So, let's talk about the theories, okay? No worries if you guys are tuning in late. I'm just grateful to have you. Don't forget to hit the like. It truly means a lot. I just really, really appreciate it. Yeah, it does get crazier. So people think that it was energy harvesting. They think that they were collecting these souls. And what were they collecting these souls for? Well, a few different people have a few different ideas. And again, let me say allegedly, this is all just what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. But they think that they could possibly be being collected because there's something known as, Facebook, how it changed the metaverse, right? Maybe they're going to go live in the metaverse. I know this sounds even more madness than everything else, but genuinely just stick with me. Maybe in whatever, afterlife you believe in, maybe they were harvesting, followers for their afterlife. And some face or whatever have that sort of mentality where if somebody follows you in this life, they will follow you in the afterlife, right? So maybe it's something like that. Maybe he thought if they worship me in this life and they pass doing so, then they will worship me in the next life. So however that next life looks for them, whatever they may believe it is, maybe that's what it was. And my heart hurts so bad. It's just so heavy about it. And the fact that Kylie was there with Stormy, the baby again, does anybody know how old Stormy was? This child witnessed this. Whoever was there needs to be seeking like therapy and help. Like, please don't be ashamed to reach out if you're there and you need some, someone to talk to. Like, seek a professional because this ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. This will create a ripple effect. It already has, right? It already has. Okay. So another point is that Kylie, like I said, if you saw her Halloween post, she was draping herself in some red liquids, which no one else would get away with on any platform. But it sure stayed up for her, didn't it? They were giving clues this whole time before this even happened. They were letting people know where this was going. They were, and that's bonkers to me. They said little clues, right? Little just breadcrumbs. Something horrible is going to happen. This is terrible. I know. Oh my gosh, you guys, and we're going to get more into Kylie and Travis because Y'all know how old she was when they met? Pardon while I get my barf bag. Like, what are you thinking? Grown man. That's a child. Literally 14 years old. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? That is a child. No. Inappropriate. No. Stop. Don't look at her. You don't look at her. You know what children don't think about things like that? You know what children are worried about? About things like that. So what was this grown man doing preying on this girl? She's not innocent, right? Obviously. She's got her own world of witches going on, and it's not the white kind. It's not the white witch, I'll tell you that. It's not a good one. They're evil. Something real evil in that family. Something real evil. And to have your daughter go to you with that, to that show, that's madness to me. Yeah, she was 14. How disturbing. And how old was he? Oh, like 24 or over? Like, ew. No. Child. You know what I mean? No. So disturbing. I just, no. Okay. Yeah. So she was 14 when they met. He was 24 or older. Let me just say, age gaps happen, okay? Who am I to judge? Love, right? Who am I to judge? That's fine. As long as it's legal, my dude's like, please. Like, ugh. Please hit that like. Thank you guys so much. I cannot believe how amazing you guys all have been the last few days. It's so awesome. Right, exactly. Like, exactly. Have your age gap. Love, if you want that, that's fine. To each their own. But legally, my dude, legally, maybe. But Kris Jenner was like, oh, baby, that's fine. Oh, it was Tyga. I'm sorry. I knew it. I'm sorry. I get confused sometimes with when names have the same first letter, Tiger and Travis. It was Tiger. I apologize. I wish I didn't do that. Sorry. That's why I'm a robot. Okay. It still doesn't matter. Inappropriate. No. Gross. No. Ew. Stop. No. Okay. So many of you know I'm over 30, right? Believe it or not. Don't tell nobody. What do I use, right? Just kidding. But so, yeah, when I look at a 24-year-old, I still think that's like an adult child, right? An adult, but their brain is not fully developed yet because that's when you're 25. So, yeah, that person is an adult, but they're going to still have childlike tendencies, right? They're not grown. They're not educated. They're not street smart. Like, you know what I mean? They're still basically, no, no, nope. It's wrong. Wait till, like, teach their own again. I'm not telling anybody how to live. But for me, my personal, no. Couldn't do it. No, thank you. Yeah, so even, I don't know. I don't know how everybody's just cool with it. And Kris Jenner was. She was like, yeah, that's great. That's totally fine. Because she wants that money no matter what. So I really do believe that this man should be held somewhat accountable. I really do. I'm not going to lie. I really do. Yeah, I'm 25 forever. Just kidding. So I also wanted to mention the names of those who we know for sure have unfortunately passed away due to this event. One was Frank Patino, and he was 21, and his friend Jacob Garnick, and they were friends. There's John Bulgaret, and he was 14 years old. There was Brianna Rodriguez, only 16 years old. Rudy Renya. Oh, you guys, this is so messed up. It makes me so frustrated because it's so sad, and it's just going to keep happening if nobody does anything, if we don't say anything, if we don't speak about these things, if we don't warn another, it's just going to keep happening. So we have to talk about it. There's also Axel Acosta, and he was 21. Again, like I said, just young human beings trying to live their life and enjoy, and they didn't even get that. So what's going on? Was this truly just a mistake, or was this something purposeful? I really want to know what you guys think. Please leave your thoughts and opinions down below. I'm genuinely curious. Do you think that they were purposely causing this circumstance to happen? I was going to talk about that. The see you on the other side. Don't worry. That was everywhere, you guys. How cryptic is that? That was the last thing they heard before Travis Scott then went on stage, was see you on the other side. And then it was also all over the merch. This was something truly demonic, something truly satanic, something, again, that a ritual. Just people, don't be afraid to say it, okay? Because if we're afraid to say it, nothing will ever change. We won't be able to fix anything. We can't make people aware if we're not truthful and honest about what's happening, right? You guys are so sweet in the chat right now. Oh my gosh. You make my heart flutter. I feel like it's puking rainbows. So I just think that there's so much that could have been done. And now with a better understanding of this life, okay? And for those of you who didn't know, recently we went over released, declassified CIA documents that went over how this life is more like a simulation than we know, so on and so forth. So could this have been a gathering for that afterlife? You know what I mean? Could it be that? I'm very curious. And the media, leave it to the media, as stated in the beginning, leave it to the media, right? Hit the like, you guys, for this. Leave it to the media to downplay this whole thing and be like, no, it's all right. I want you to keep going out. Like, you guys can keep going out. Keep going to these mass gatherings. Don't worry about that. Right? Why? Because it's like fish in a bucket. It's so easy for them. And they know people will keep doing it. That's the worst part. People deserve a break. They deserve to have freedom, to have fun, to get out. They didn't deserve all this. They didn't. And the poor families. So please note how he handled this, okay? He was genuinely singing the whole time as he stood on a high-rise watching people be crowd-surfed. People who were unconscious were being crowd-surfed. People were being dropped. Friends were losing friends. The thing is they know better, you guys. They know better. They know how to run a show. They know how to set up a concert arena. They know how to do these things. They know how to set up the exits, but nobody did that. And it was like insanely understaffed, insanely. Okay? Just madness. People, we're getting to that part too, the random poking, okay? Remember, we talked about that yesterday? Somebody got a random pokey poke and they didn't know with what? Well, the news reported that a security guard was poked with Narcan. That's strange. Why would a security guard get poked with Narcan? And what is Narcan? For those of you who don't know, don't worry. Your girl's got your back. Let me explain it for you. For those unaware, Narcan is often used for when someone is having an overdose or for when someone is in a state, you know, they get hit with Narcan. So why was a security guard randomly hit with that? It makes no sense. Make it make sense. The math is not mathin', my friends. The math does not math. Why? And then there's other people there that said, oh, no, it didn't happen. Nobody was accidentally jib-jabbied with nothing. When people who were there saw things happening. Yes, exactly. You guys are so smart. So clever. So let me also bring up one more time, the phoenix rising in the beginning is a symbolism of a catastrophe, something traumatic experience, and then arising anew. Clever, smarter, so on and so forth. This is how they began the show. There was also really strange tones going off. Besides the frequencies, there was tones that were like abrupt, loud. Again, inciting more fear, anxiety, pain, so on and so forth. And by far, one of the scariest reports is somebody seeing a demon on the top of the stage. I'm not kidding you. There's videos of this one too. And I discussed this one a bit yesterday. I said it could have been a kite. It could have been a balloon. It could have been something that they put up there. But we're talking how many stories up there, you guys, on the top of this giant venue. The demon video is linked in my last stream, but I can link it again in the description of this video, so you can check either one of those out. So I did link it though in the last one. And isn't that so interesting? Could it have been a projection? Could it have been a real demon? Could it have been a shadow figure? We don't know. Maybe we'll never know. But it happened. And again, whether it was something that they did on purpose or not, the intention is still there. Fear, panic, scare, mania, chaos. I genuinely tried to debunk it myself, and I genuinely don't know, you guys. I genuinely don't know. Demons don't exist? Okay, sure. That's again, like, if you guys want to put your spiritual blinders on to the spiritual world, that's fine. You don't have to acknowledge that there is a spiritual level to this life, right? That's totally fine, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? It's kind of like there are things that exist outside of our vision. Do you realize that? Like, do you not realize that we only see with our eyes a small percent? Like, we are only seeing a very small percent of our whole world, right? Of our whole existence. There are things that can live outside of our vision range. Like, do you not understand that? Don't worry. Like, I'll do a video on it. We can go there. I don't mind. I'll be the one to be like, oh, really? You think that demons don't exist? Well, watch this. Let me show you how. Because yes, there are other frequencies. Yeah, that too, right? Okay, we'll go into that another time. I just truly hope that those who sue, I hope they win. I really do. I really do. I think that these people could have been in a trance. I think that they were put in a situation that they knew was dangerous. The way that they set up the venue was wrong. It was set up like cattle, because when you got to the front, there was no getting back through. There was no exits. There was no safety precautions, hardly a staff. And for us to look at normies or sheeples or whatever, and they're even the ones saying that this was satanic, this was something else, we might want to pay attention. And the thing is that many people said there was people in the crowd throwing up X's. If you're in a concert and people are throwing up X's, do you know what that means? Medic. It means they need a medic. So they have half the crowd, and you can hear it. This is the craziest part. When they're streaming it and they think that everybody's like screaming and having a great time, you can hear people screaming, help me. You can hear people screaming, medic. You can see people doing the X. That's just madness to me. So the crowd said that this occurred like every 5 minutes. Okay. People kept doing it. Okay. Every 5 minutes it was needed. And again, of course, the news and media are going to downplay it. They're trying to make you think that it's just 8 people. People who were there in person who attended said that there was so many bodies laying on the ground. So many. Another thing I did not mention yesterday was the design of the stage. The design of the stage, much like the design of the entrance, much like the design of everything else, was creepy. We can say that, right? Very easy. We all can agree with that one, right? It looked like it was genuinely a portal to hell. There was images being played on it, and strobe lights and laser lights and things like that, all being shined on this one place that literally looked like a portal to hell. Oh, thank you for all the new people here. I'm genuinely blessed to have you here. Thank you so, so much. I hope that you're doing well. I'm sorry that you're here on such heavy topics, but I just can't not talk about it, you guys. If I can warn even a couple people, I will. And it really was weighing on my heart. So again, this is when I was going to get into the whole see you on the other side, okay? one of the last things they heard before Travis Scott's set was "See you on the other side," okay? And a lot of things that people kept saying was "See you on the other side." It was on all the merch. It was on everything. What does that mean? Did they know? Were they preparing people for the AstroWorld? Just a reminder, I've been in mosh pits, right? Like we talked about before. I've done that, right? I've been to some large scale events. And like I said, I've been in mosh pits with Irish punks, like punk music, like real raw punk, like the real deal, okay? And the most bruise I would get is like a boo-boo, like a small boo-boo. But I would get out of that show and I would be okay. But that crowd said that show felt like hell on earth. And when those people fell into those pits, it looked like people just dropping into the pits of hell. And it kept happening throughout the crowd. And the cameramen, they would not point the camera at the crowd to show what was happening. Any of you who went to a concert, listen, I love Tom Petty, okay? I've seen Tom Petty so many times. I've seen Rusty Roots so many times. And you know what they do? They have big screens on either side of the stage so that you can see the crowd and the performers so that you don't miss anything, right? Right? But they wouldn't show the crowd. Why? Because they knew what was happening. Maybe they got slipped a little bit extra cash. I don't know. Allegedly, who knows, right? But somebody knew something. So, yeah, they just weren't showing the crowd. And people, these two heroes, these poor two heroes, were trying to stop the camera guy and told him, somebody is not well. Somebody is not with us anymore. Somebody's out there and they're not good. And the camera guy basically told her to get off. And another guy came up to her and said, if you don't get off, I'm going to push you off. This poor girl was just trying to save lives. And people booed her. People booed these people. There's video proof of that. And I will link that one in the description below too, because you best believe I saved that one as well. She got booed for trying to save people's lives. What is wrong with people right now? What is wrong? What's happening? Where did the love go? Amore? Mi amores? Where's the love? Where's the compassion for one another? So another good point was that, the screens, they weren't picking it up. They weren't showing anybody. Apparently, there was people even, being waved over and nothing was happening. Yeah, it's madness. And then Kylie even had it in her story. Kylie Jenner even had it. Oh, yeah, it's a ritual for sure. She had it in her Instagram story, and people had to call her out and be like, Kylie, there was an EMT, like an emergency vehicle moving through the crowd. How are you saying this is a good time? And guess what? Oh, gosh, remember when I said it gets worse? Remember when I said it gets worse? And then we talked about a kid being thrown into the middle of a mosh pile, and left. Imagine. Don't imagine. If you have kids, don't imagine. But if you, never mind. Just don't worry about it. Sorry. Okay. Oh, these people. I just don't get it. I don't get it. They knew what would happen with having Drake there and having Kylie there and having all these people there. Do you guys think that Travis did enough? Genuinely, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think he did enough to help people? Because everybody's like, well, he did stop one time and was like, oh, help this one person, right? But that was it. The rest of the time, he did not stop. He kept going. He kept singing. And people saw him. And he looked right at the hole. My guy. And Drake is also known for being shady. Let's not forget Drake, right? Oh, my guy. Oh, my guy. No, we're not going to forget you, are we? You freaking creeper. Drake's another one that loves them young, doesn't he? Loves them young. Loves them young. So gross. So gross. Disgusting. Puh, disgusting. texting Millie Bobby Brown while she's underage, texting Billie Eilish while she's underage. But Drake don't care. Drake don't give up. He's Drake, bitch. And nobody's going to care, right? Why is everybody blaming Travis? Because he's the one who incited the entire thing. He's the reason AstroWorld exists, right? He's the one who had this idea, who made it so demonic, so satanic, so evil. He's the one that said, stomp the floor until the ground shakes. As people's bodies were under their feet, my dude. He said, stomp the floor until the ground shakes, as people had bodies underneath them. You don't think that causes for some blame? You don't think that? As he sees it happening, he says, stomp on these things. He did know. He did know. He was on a high rise where he could see the whole crowd. I don't want to hear that he didn't know, okay? Because that's not true. Now you're just lying up in my chat and you're going to make me sad. He knew, okay? We know what this was. He knew. And he provoked it. And do you know what? We talked about a past concert of his where someone fell off a third-story balcony because of how chaotic it was. This man knows what his concerts do. Yes, he does. And they know how to put on a show. So they could have had the proper precautions. Let me just say that, right? They weren't born yesterday. Maybe he was reborn that day in some demonic way. Anyways, let me get back to Drake, this nasty. He likes them young. He's gross too. Gross. Puh. Nasty, right? Okay. It's weird, you guys. It's weird. There's no bueno. No. Stay the heck away from our kids, you sickos. You weirdos. Like, I don't even care how you choose to live your life. I don't even care, right? But you don't got to push that crap on my kid. No, you don't. Drake is weird. It's gross. Inappropriate. Okay. So let's talk about this part, because apparently the camera guy who wouldn't turn the camera to the crowd, his wife spoke out because, I don't know. Why? It's insanity to me. So she was saying that it's not his fault. He did try to help, that people are threatening him. You guys don't threaten the camera, dude. Like, come on. That's not even the most important part of what happened here. That doesn't even matter, right? It's the people who needed the help that mattered. No, he told people to F up a 10-year-old who stole his shoe. That's not appropriate. Telling people, his whole entire crowd, to beat up a child is not appropriate. I don't know in what world people think these things are okay and are like, oh, Travis Scott's not at fault. He only incited 2 riots and was arrested for it. Oh, Travis not at fault. People were only breaking down the gates and literally trampling each other till they were gone. Oh, it's not his fault. Bye. You can leave then. Bye. Like, are you kidding me, my dude? So let's talk about ways that you can stay safe, because guess what? I care about you. That's why I'm doing this whole thing, is because this weighs so heavy on my heart that it makes me sick. Like, I've been to these shows, you guys. I can't say it enough. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to tell you not to do these things. But if you do choose to go out to these things, you need to be safe, be awake, be aware, okay? Always assess your proximity to danger. You might not be thinking about it, right? But always assess your proximity to danger. Always carry your own medical needs. If you need something like Band-Aids, if you need something like a wrap, keep it on you at all times. Make sure you're ready. Yeah, exactly. The preferred option is don't go, right? That's the preferred option. Don't go to these mainstream, biggest names out there kind of concerts, because these things are going to keep happening. I do put blame on others. I didn't say it's solely on Travis. If you would ask who I think is to blame, as I stated in the start, I think that the company is going to be to blame, that Travis is going to be to blame, that they all are. So no, I'm not just putting this all on Travis Scott, but that's who we're discussing. I'm sorry that you might have missed part of the stream where we discussed that already, but no, I talked about where the blame belongs and we know where it belongs. So I say also, don't bring your kids, okay? Don't bring your kids. My goodness. You know that people are going to be space caked out their mind. Please don't bring your kids. Please don't. Please don't. The worst part of this, again, like I said, is that someone said that they might have seen, allegedly, someone toss a child into one of these pits and just walk away as if they were in some kind of trance. The youngest life that didn't make it, as far as we know, was 10, it seems like at this time. Others claim that people, like I said, seem to be in a trance because of music and just were not themselves. Yeah, I saw 14, but then again, I saw 10. So I'm a little confused on that. I did see younger, so I'll double check that just to make sure. And then I'll correct it in the comments if I got it that wrong. But no, I do put a little bit of blame on Travis, though. I do. I really do. I believe that he knows better. He knows how to set these up events. He created the whole entire idea, the concept from start to finish. So I do believe that he is to take some of the blame. And that's just that on that. So one thing we know for sure is that he failed. He failed his fans. He failed the people that cared about him most, and he couldn't care less. You know why? Because he couldn't shed a single freaking tear for these poor people. Hi, Daisy. Oh, so good to see you. I find myself asking, the same thing as others. Did Travis even make any profits from this? Did he? Yeah, the Kardashian curse. Did he even profit from this event? Money-wise? I don't think so. I don't think he did. And you know what? I looked up the profits of the last fest. It's costly. It's pretty costly. So it looks like the amount that he made could pretty much pay for this fest, right? Ain't that something? Yeah, exactly. So what do you think? What do you think? Do you think he'll make anything? Yeah, please don't forget to like and share, guys. I really try not to ask for much. But the one thing I do ask for is if you like it, because then it sends it out to more people and it really helps a lot. So yeah, to put this event on, it's madness. 34 milli is a number that I saw. So it's not worth your life. It's not worth your loved one's life. It's not worth these children's lives. These people did it. I wish they cared. I really do. I wish they cared. Oh, there was a couple other things I wanted to bring up that are important as to why we can place a little bit more blame on Travis, and why I do believe that he does deserve a little bit more of that blame is because this man was warned, okay? He was warned before the fest by the Houston police about safety, about security. He was warned about it. And you know what he said? I'm not worried about it. He said, I'm not worried about it. Yeah, exactly. Boycott, right. Travisscott to refund all AstroWorld attendees and cancels Day and Vegas festival appearance. You think he'll stay gone? Probably not. Probably not. What happened with Ariana Grande and her show? Things seem just fine, right? See, like I said, when people followed the concert, it created like a pit, and people just kept falling on top of each other, so on and so forth. People were begging and pleading for their lives, and it really, really was hard to hear. I know, I'm sure it was even harder to be there and be a part of it, and my heart and prayers go out to those people who really suffered because of this. So the camera wife came out, the wife of the camera guy, right? And she talked about, like I said, how he did what he could. I wanted to make note of that because that was another thing that I didn't discuss. And also, this is another thing. Attendees, when they talked about going to sleep that night, they couldn't help but hear the screams of those people. They were haunted by it, you guys. Again, this is something that will have it's a ripple effect. It's going to have a ripple effect, and people don't even know how bad that's going to be, right? I just wanted to make sure I made mention of those things too. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I really do appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys subscribing and liking. It is free. It means a lot. If you change your mind, you can always undo it later. You can even hit the thumbs down, but I don't know why you would do that, but it's a possibility. If you want, I guess there's that option as well. But please do let me know your thoughts on this, guys. It's truly important, and I am glad that it helped wake up more people to realize that there's something negative going on, that there is something more sinister going on, and They don't care about you and me. They don't care about us. So we have to care about us. We got to make sure that we have another. We got to make sure that we take care of each other and have another's back. And that's all I'm trying to do is, warn people and let them know that it's not appropriate. And he definitely could have done things. It's just, I know exactly. We're all expendable to them. Yep. All right, guys. I'm going to get going in a minute because I got to get the king some dinner. For those of you who don't know, I do have a son. He is the love of my life. So sweet, apple of my heart. He's amazing. But please don't forget to check out my other social media, like my Twitch, my Snap, my Insta, my Twitter. Twitch is DameVonBonDaisy Plays. And also, I do have an idea about merch and fashion, but we can talk about that next time because it's not as important, and everything that I was going to talk about recently has been just shoved to the side now because this is the most important thing. And the things that I'm grateful for, I'm going to make a gratitude list and the things that I'm grateful for before we end this off. And then we're going to also thank the Lord for his guide and light and helping people that night. Okay. Things that I'm grateful for is that people, those that did come together to help one another, did help one another, and they showed grace, and they're heroes. They're true American heroes. Like they're genuinely heroic. Bless the people that got up on the camera, high rise, and were, fighting for people's lives as people booed them. And they had a visceral reaction. You know what I mean? They're gonna wonder if they're doing something wrong. But they weren't. They were trying to save lives. What they did was right. And just bless everybody in their hearts who really, did something and stepped up that night. And you know what? Damn be the others who did nothing. Damn be the others who stood up on stage and watched as these people were stepped on. As these people just fell on top of another. As these people couldn't breathe as they drowned in more people. Damn be the ones who did nothing. And you know what I mean? I'm not a hateful person, you guys. Hate is not genuinely in my vocabulary, but my goodness, I really do not like what happened. Obviously, it's terrible. This whole thing is truly terrible. Nobody, I don't know, just the everyday person could not predict something like this, And I just wish more people would say it for what it is. Like, be honest. Say the word ritual. Let people know. Because you know what? If we are able to talk about these things, then more people will talk about these things. If more people talk about these things, then it will get less weird or different or strange to talk about these things. Say it. Say ritual. Talk about how Kylie doused herself in the red goo. Talk about how these events all led up to this. Talk about it. Because that way, at least we're doing something for the people who struggled in that crowd, for the people who thought they might not make it out, for the people who went home and hugged their mama so tight. I just think of my son, you guys. I do. I really do. I think of my son, and I think of what if he was one of those boys. Ooh, no. I just cannot fathom. So please, you guys, please take care of yourselves. Please, please take care of your loved ones. Stay awake, stay aware. Enjoy the time that we have together, in this plane. Be present, be sound of mind. Take care of your kids. Do not let your kids go to these shows, okay? Protect the children at all costs, because right now, that's another huge issue. Nobody's protecting these kids. They're going missing willy-nilly. And like I said, Orin and Orson West, I still think about them. Summer Wells, I still think about her. I wonder, where are these kids? Thank you for the 100 likes, you guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'm so humbled and grateful for you all. Somebody needs to do more, like Cleo, lovely little Cleo, was it, from Australia, who was taken from her campsite right out of her tent, was found 2 weeks later and brought home. So let's end with something good and positive and know that these things can happen. There can be a turnaround for the better. And we have a say. You have a choice. You make a vote every time you support or do not support these people, okay? I just really, really appreciate you guys for being here, for hearing me out, for just being willing to listen, because that's all it takes to start opening hearts and minds up to the truth. I really, really appreciate you. I'm going to say it one more time. Stay awake, stay aware, stay well. And I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Just be careful. Don't go to these shows. I genuinely adore you, okay? Be careful. See you soon.